Hi everyone, it's Tracey and Matt and Tim
Kia ora.
at Storm Baker Jewelers, and today we're going to be talking about a diamond alternative called Moissanite. Matt, do you want to kick us off with some Moissanite information?
Sure. The reason they do call Moissanite diamonds from the stars is not because they're diamonds, because they're not. They're their own gemstone in their own right. But they're found naturally in meteorites from outside our solar system. So only a limited amount crash to Earth, so we can't harvest them for jewellery, but we can replicate them and grow them in a lab. And they grow just like a natural diamond, crystal by crystal. We end up with a lump at the end, which we can then cut and facet into a beautiful gemstone. So that's pretty cool.
Moissanite is about 10% the cost of a natural diamond. In terms of durability, a diamond is 10 on the Mohs scale.
It's a measure of hardness.
A measure of hardness. So thank you very much
No problem.
for interjecting with that. So 10 is the hardest stone known to man.
Diamond, basically.
Moissanite is between 9.5 to 10. The quality of the moissanite that we grow now is so good.
So harder than even sapphire, or at least on par.
Yeah, at least on par with sapphire. What I love about moissanite is that with a diamond, the crystal structure inside of the diamond is a tetrahedron. So you get these big white flashes from a diamond, which is what everybody loves. But when you look at a moissanite crystal structure, it's hexagonal. So the way that the hexagonal crystals inside the moissanite reflect the light, it actually has a higher refractive index and a higher brilliance than a diamond. So being almost as hard as a diamond, in some cases it is as hard, because it's a stone that is grown under laboratory conditions, under perfect conditions. Each stone is perfect. So you're always looking at a VVS1, a colour D. For the yellow and rose gold rings, we'd use a G because you want to use a warm stone and warm gold. You will know that because you've watched lots of these videos before. In terms of price, how are we looking?
Well, like you said, they're generally around kind of 10% the cost of the equivalent quality diamond.
So let's just say that a natural diamond, which is a VVS1 colour D, you'd be looking at
D to F.
D to F, you'd probably be looking at between about $10,000. In comparison, for a lab diamond, you'd probably be looking at between $5,000 and $7,000. For a moissanite, you're looking at around about $1,000, $990 roughly with us. There are different qualities of moissanite available out there. Not everybody grows the best. So there's Indian and there's Asian and there's different countries around the world can see Russian. Different countries around the world can see the benefits of moissanite. So on eBay and on AliExpress and places like that. But moissanite has one flaw, and that flaw is that if it's not good quality, it can get, when you use certain chemicals around it, it can get this like oil slick staining on the top of the stone. That can be removed with a jeweler's rouge cloth, but once it's there and you remove it, it can easily come back.
It doesn't happen with most good quality moissanite. It's generally the cheapest stuff that's sold kind of online that you'd have that issue.
So moissanite, just like diamond, needs to be looked after and protected carefully. Like it's all just, again, it's another big crystal. But with moissanite being super sparkly, often your stones will look slightly bigger because they give off a little tiny bit more light. So what are some of the other benefits you can think of about moissanite?
Moissanite, it stays cleaner for longer because of what it is. So a diamond is full carbon, whereas moissanite is silicon and carbon together, so silicon carbide. And what that means is the silicon element of it just helps, dirt and things like that kind of slide off the stone. So you'll find you won't be cleaning it as much, it'll stay sparklier for longer. Because of that refractive index, obviously you do get more of a sparkle like Tracey said, but you also get a bit of colours through there too, which is awesome. It's not like a disco ball where it looks really fake or CZ, but it just gives it a beautiful bit of character, and you kind of, even though most people can't pick the difference between a moissanite and a diamond, the trained eye can, and it's just that little bit of extra colour sparkle coming through the stone. But I mean, honestly, I love that about moissanite.
I actually love, I really do love moissanite. I love that there's so many options with it. So moissanite, because it's so hard and durable, it can be cut into any shape. So any of your traditional diamond cuts we can do in a moissanite, and some of the more non-traditional cuts like coffin cut and tapered baguette. We can even now do 100 facet or 130 facet cut, which absolutely looks amazing. The 130 facet cut stones, especially in the stones that are larger than 7 millimeters.
So for anyone that doesn't know, a facet is just the angles, you know, of a gem that have been cut that way to help the light kind of bounce back and create that sparkle. So the more facets you have, the more sparkle you're going to get from a stone. So the fact we can do 130 over a regular 57 or 58 round brilliant is pretty impressive. You're talking about a pretty in your face kind of beautiful gem, if that's what you're looking for.
I was talking to another popular jeweler about this 129, 130 facet cut, and this particular person who I won't name was saying to me, and we're good friends, we have a bit of banter. They were saying to me, 130 facets, it doesn't really make any difference to the way the quality of the sparkle of the gem. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. So what I did was I got an 11 millimeter moissanite round, because you can only do the 100 facets in the round stones. I got 11 millimeter round, 58 facet traditional, you know, round brilliant cut, ideal. And then we did 130 facet 11 millimeter, and then we had the same conversation.
Yeah, big difference.
Big difference in the quality of the sparkle. But it really, in the smaller stones, I did kind of get where he was coming from as well, because in the smaller stones, like, we can still do it in a 6 millimeter or a 6.5, but then I feel like the stone loses a little bit of its authenticity. There's still people out there that don't want to put their hand out and go, this is a moissanite. They want people to feel like or think that it's a really nice quality diamond, and each to their own, that's absolutely fine. So in the smaller cuts, it wasn't really as, it didn't really have the desired effect. The 58 facet cuts looked better in the 6 to 6.5 millimeter, but once you get up into that 7 millimeter where you've got a little bit more surface on the stone,
1.5 to 2 carat,
1.5 to 2 carats, they look phenomenal. They look incredible.
So we know we can do 130 facets or the regular, you know, 57, 58. What else do we want to talk about with moissanite?
With moissanite, easy to clean, just warm water, dishwashing liquid. And I clean my rings once a week, so it's easy to clean. It's 10% the cost of a natural diamond, and
super hard. We talked about the measure of hardness.
Super hard.
And durability wise, because they're not included, we covered last time about inclusions where a diamond or a gemstone is only as good as its first floor within the stone. Moissanite, you won't have that problem. So even though it's not quite as hard as a diamond, like it's almost, it's still going to be a lot more durable than a diamond that has flaws through the middle of it.
And if you think about this, a lot of people buy tanzanite, which is only 7.5 on the Mohs scale, or a sapphire, which is 9.5. When you're buying a moissanite, you're buying the next hardest, most durable stone next to a diamond, if not as good as a diamond. So like Matt said before, if you've got a diamond that's, let's say it's an SI, we talked about gradings in an earlier show. If you buy a diamond that's an SI2 and it's got an inclusion under a claw and you knock it, that can crack the diamond. In a moissanite, you just don't get that, because there's no point in us growing these stones with these inclusions in them. So
put it this way, we back them with a lifetime warranty. So even if you did manage to break your stone, then just bring the pieces into us and we would replace it.
It comes out of Matt's pay.
Not that that's ever happened, and that's the reason like why we're so confident about the durability of these gems. They're generational stones, so they're made to be handed on, you know, throughout the family and throughout the generations.
So with proper care, just like any jewellery, it doesn't matter whether it's precious, semi-precious, diamond, with any jewellery there's a certain level of care. If you were to buy a $1,000 dress to wear to a wedding, you're not going to go home after a bottle of wine and go to bed in that. Well, some of you might, but you're not going to go to bed and sleep in the dress. So that's why
how drunk you get, I suppose.
It really does.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever slept in my clothes. I think
no, I could probably I'd fight you on that one. Yeah.
you'd fight me.
Well, you know, I would contest that statement.
Would you? I can't remember a time I've ever slept in my. I definitely drink wine.
I've got photo
I'm not going to argue with that.
So.
You do not have photo evidence.
Yeah.
Tim,
don't bring Tim into
no,
this.
no.
It's definitely happened.
Tim and I have had 1 or 2 beverages together.
We have.
We have, and I think that Tim knows that I can hold my own. I would never sleep in my clothes.
When you're a young buck, it's like wherever you pass out, you know. You just hope you're not face down. And
It's been such a long time since I was a young buck.
well,
It's like
so I was relating.
I might have
more,
been a
I was
filly.
relating more to Tim, but
Yeah.
that's all right.
So basically, like what I'm trying to say is that you'll get back from your jewellery what you give it, and if you take it off for things like the dishes, and you take it off for bed, and you take it off for the shower and the washing machine and things like that, it's definitely going to last an awful lot longer. But when you're using a hard and durable stone, the chances of damage being done to that, even if you're not as careful taking it off, the chances are really minimised.
The only thing really would be if they were knocking up against other like diamonds or moissanite, another substance or material just as hard, that's when it might chip or fracture. But other than that, not much can hurt it.
So let's go back just briefly to the visual differences between a diamond and a moissanite. So if you put a diamond and a moissanite together, visually, would you notice a big difference, do you think?
Not to the untrained eye.
What do you consider trained?
Well, like, you know, a jewellery professional.
I would consider the trained eye a jewellery professional that's worked with moissanite. There's a lot of jewellery professionals that have not worked with moissanite. I don't think there's many people in New Zealand that would have more experience than what we have working with moissanite.
When it first came on the market in Australia, there was a 60 minutes, I think it was, that they took a whole lot of moissanite, set it in jewellery, took it to a bunch of different independent jewellers around Australia and had it valued, and it actually came back every single time as valued as diamond. They could not differentiate the moissanite from diamonds. So, I mean, and they were blown away when they told them, hey, this isn't actually a diamond. So that's how good it is. That was a while ago now, but yeah, like Tracey said, even like for most people and some jewellery professionals, like they would pass as diamonds if that's what you want.
It's an absolutely fantastic alternative.
But you know, a lot of people come to us and that they want moissanite. They're proud to be wearing moissanite. They want a diamond alternative. They want to know that there's no harm to the planet, or you know, no one's like had to be forced to mine it or put themselves in situations they don't want to be in to get that stone so you can have it on your finger. It's a completely ethical gem, which is pretty cool.
From a jewellery designer's perspective, I would rather use, in talking about mealy stones, because we haven't really touched on mealies, which mealies are the small accents in a ring that's got multiple stones. So you'll have a central stone, a main stone, you'll have a halo or a double halo or shank stones. I would rather use moissanite in a ring with multiple stones than use moissanite or full carbon lab diamonds, because you know you're getting the best colour, the best unincluded quality. I would rather use that than use a very included I2 or I3 natural diamond.
Hands down.
And a lot of jewelers out there go, oh, it's diamond and moissanite, or you know, but why would you put a substandard low quality stone with something so beautiful? It's just going to let it down. If you're buying a moissanite ring, stick with moissanite. If your intention, if the ring's got lots of accent stones in it and your intention is to keep it always as moissanite, that's fine. Use moissanite for your accents. If your intention is to one day change that moissanite out for a diamond, which I don't know why you would, you'd probably think about doing that when you came in, but once it's on your finger for a couple of years, it's not necessary to change the stone. Its purpose is to sparkle, and that's exactly what it does.
But if you were looking at a natural diamond down the track.
If you were looking at a natural diamond down the track, then I would definitely look at using a really good quality full carbon lab diamond as an accent, or a really high quality mined diamond as an accent. But keep in mind that it can add hundreds, if not thousands, to the end bill.
We used to get a lot of people coming through that would intend to swap their moissanite out. Maybe they were building a house or they had an expensive wedding, and they'd say, you know, when we can afford it, we'll put a diamond in. How many of those people came back and put diamonds in?
None.
Because
not one.
Why would you spend that, you know, tens of thousands more dollars to have something which looks just as beautiful on your finger when you don't need to? Doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't really make sense. Look, don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of everything. I love all jewellery. I love, especially a beautiful durable setting is gorgeous. A setting can really make a stone. It can make everything. If it's comfortable, if it's durable, if it's luxurious, all of those things. But let's keep it in perspective. Buy what you can afford. If you come to us and talk to us about, what's the point in starting off a relationship on a foot of being in debt? why would you spend $12,000 on a diamond when, you know, that could be a house deposit? Why not use something that's affordable, durable, it looks stunning, incredible? There's no reason not to use one. A moissanite or a lab diamond would definitely be the way to go if you still want the look and the feel of luxury and the sparkle of the best possible quality, but you don't want that hefty price tag that goes along with it.
We can do coloured moissanite now. We've got teals and champagne.
We've got aquamarine colour, we've got another kind of a grey blue, we've got grey, we've got yellow, what else do we have? We've got green, we've got teal. Pink is a little bit of a grey area because pink is...
It's starting to get good pink, just starting to trickle through.
Sometimes moissanite, now here's a little tip for you players out there that are looking at moissanite online.
For you players.
You guys, honestly, if you're looking at moissanite online, you've got to be very careful. Here's the question you want to ask the seller. Is the coloured moissanite that you're buying wrapped, or is it right throughout the stone? Because the problem that we have with especially pink moissanite is that it's carbon wrapped. So another hard surface rubbing against it rubs the pink away, especially if it's a pink stone that you're putting in a white ring. The minute it goes into rhodium, it takes all the pink away.
And that's because genuine moissanite is hard to grow, especially coloured stuff. So, I mean...
growing it pink crystal by crystal is really intensively hard. The other, like there's iron in the green ones, and you know there's different minerals in to give it its colour. But with the pink, even if we can grow it, it's usually quite UV sensitive and it fades out to a peach over time. So Matt and I have chosen at this stage, while technology is not quite up there with the best quality pink moissanite, we don't sell it just yet, but we do sell high quality pink diamonds.
But the cool thing about the coloured moissanite is that you get the colour and the sparkle as well coming through.
And the other colours are injected, it's the colour all the way through, so it grows crystal by crystal, aquamarine colour or blue or grey, you know, or yellow. Any of those colours, they're durable, they will last, you won't lose the colour when you dip the stone in rhodium. But with the pink ones, nobody's been able to create or grow a pink stone that isn't influenced somehow by rhodium or UV light. So avoid them if you can. So we talked about a question for this like
Question of the day.
a question of the day.
Yep.
So, and there are a few things thrown around, but I think that giving you guys something to really think about, like a choice, is ideal.
All right.
So you've got a choice.
Yeah.
You can go into lockdown, but you've got to leave something behind. Your phone. You've got to leave your phone behind.
Ooh.
Or you've got to leave toilet paper behind.
Ooh.
What do you do? And you can't use the toilet paper alternative. So you can't use newspaper or tissues or baby wipes. You can't use a hose to wash your bottom either, Tim.
I don't have to play, I hate the game.
So what? Can you wipe your bum with your phone? Probably not ideal.
There might be an app that can handle that. So you've got to leave one thing behind, your phone or your toilet paper.
Right.
What are you going to do? I can see you thinking about it.
Honestly, probably leave the phone behind. It's going to be...
You can't cast to Netflix.
No. Oh, God. Yeah.
It's such a tough question.
What do you use your hand?
Well, listen. I could think outside.
Shovel.
No, I can think out. You're not thinking outside of the square.
Oh.
Okay. You guys aren't allowed.
You can jump in the shower, right?
Yes, you can jump in the shower.
Oh,
That's a real flatting option.
Take my phone.
Take your phone.
Going to be having a lot of showers.
I would leave the phone behind because I would take Matt's phone and he could use my toilet paper.
Cheating.
Ha ha ha. Tim, you're living on your own, Tim. I know you're not, but if you were, you've got to make the choice and you can't
I'm going to have to leave my phone behind. I'm probably one of those modern day men like that now. Become a bit softer as I've gotten older.
Well, you like your comforts.
Yeah, I do. But only because I've got a laptop still, so we can just Chromecast the Netflix from a laptop. Surely that's the workaround there, team.
There you go.
Smart cookie. So what would you guys do? Phone or toilet paper? We'll leave that with you.
Mm.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Our next topic is on ring durability. What style should you choose for your line of work and everyday wear and tear? See you next time.